Nice.
All in audio experience. All in audio experience.
Yo, all in audio experience in the building, man. My boy Trent is back in the city. How you doing?
Back in the Ville. And we with your boy JB. Man.
Yes, sir.
What's good? What's good?
The GOAT. The GOAT.
The GOAT. The GOAT. We go way
Clothing
back with this
brand.
one. We go way back with this one.
Coach.
Coach
Clothing
JB,
brand.
entrepreneur JB,
Trying
owner
to be like
JB,
y'all, man.
Scholar.
designer JB, scholar JB,
Trying
graduate
to be like
JB.
y'all, bro.
All right, bro. We gonna start, bro. How you doing, my boy?
I'm good, man. How about y'all?
Living good, man.
Good.
Blessed. A whole lot of that. Man, so let's just start. Let's get into it, man. So it started with the sideline story. Now we are at
Unorthodox
Unorthodox
dreams.
dreams.
Unorthodox
Dreams never die.
Dreams.
Yes, sir.
Just give us the story, man. How this thing get started.
So yeah, sideline story, was my podcast at first,
Mm-hmm.
and I started with the merch of the sideline story, and then I kind of just looked at like I wanted to do more than just merch, I guess, something like that. And so I talked to y'all know Rashawn Green,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of came up with just the idea of like wanting to do more than merch, and he got his own brand, Rich Love.
Yep.
So then I kind of just came up with something else other than that. So I went with Love Yours at first, and it sold pretty good. Like when I was doing Love Yours, and it just came to a point where like I felt like everybody was on some love. Like Rashawn got Rich Love, then there was another brand called like Love Lost,
Mm.
and I just wanted something different. And so the Unorthodox dreams came from just like doing something that nobody else thinks of. Like when you think of unorthodox, it's contrary to what is normal.
Sure.
So unorthodox is just different than the normality of life and normality of what people do every day. So it's just something different that I came up with. And of course, dreams, everybody got dreams, so why not try to live them by doing something different than what everybody else want to do?
For sure.
Yes, sir. So, all right. So when you first had this podcast or whatever, what was like, why did you, decide to move out of that lane completely, or, kind of pause that and then move kind of straight into clothing?
So with the podcast, it was going well. Like I can't even complain. It was going well. But with me being in Florence, I couldn't get to a lot of the people that I wanted to get to.
Mm-hmm.
COVID had just started, and like I didn't know how to work Zoom at first. So I was like,
And Zoom quality
it's tough.
isn't
Yeah,
always
it's
the
tough
best.
doing Zoom quality with an interview because if they Wi-Fi connection go out, then you kind of just don't hear what's going on. Or if mine not the greatest, then I may not hear what they got going on. So I was like, all right, let me pause this and just go from the business side of I like to design on Photoshop. I like to wear different clothing brands. I can put it together. Why not just try it out and see if it works? And so that's why I went that route. The podcast was kind of on, like kind of what y'all do, like on somebody's story of what they do or their life story of how they're getting to where they're going. And so then I just got away from that because the connection of not being able to get to certain people or not knowing who to really reach out to because I was in Florence and not knowing if people can come to Florence or if I could get to their house because everybody was in COVID. So if they live with their parents might have been like, nope, if you ain't got a mask on, you can't come. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that was getting in my way. So I just
It was
went
just
ahead
uncomfortable, bro.
Yeah,
It was,
if it don't,
scheduling was hectic at that time.
oh yeah, and so that was just kind of like, let me back up and just try to see if I can work this business thing out first.
Sure. Well, at what point did you, I would say, like fall in love with the clothing brand and was like, dang, I really like, because you mentioned how like you got into Photoshop and realized you like design, and like what moment can you remember that she was like, all right, this is it for me, I like this?
So crazy story. I started doing it. So I wanted to work in sports. I went to UNA, got my sport management degree. I was doing my master's degree in sports. So I wanted to get more in like marketing and stuff because I was in ticket office. So the more that I learned, the more I could be, versatile to do different things in sports.
For sure.
So I started doing like sports graphic flyers, just throwing stuff together, a color on the background, cropping out somebody's picture off of the internet and put it on there and just seeing it and just trying stuff. And it got to where like you can add a shirt and just put words on it. And now I got a design for a shirt or something like that. And so it just hit me like, all right, let me just try to do that. And there was a dude I worked with named Drew who just like was teaching me little things here and there. And I was watching YouTube. I'm like, oh, I can teach myself this. And it just clicked. Like, let me go find a stroke or something behind a text and call it a day. And that's the design. So it just clicked to me like I can do my own design without paying somebody to do it. And it just hit.
That's a great skill to have for sure. So with the clothing brand, where you want to take it, man? I know you you got, man, so many different designs that you have came out with. You got this one, of course. I feel like I was like, that give me SpongeBob vibes, the font.
Yeah.
Then you got another one that had like a NASCAR type look.
Yeah.
So,
That shit was fire. So where you want to take it, with the clothing?
So I feel like I can take it as far as I want it to go. Like, I got different designs. I'm learning more about just how to market to certain people. And of course, when you get your brand out there, as we talked about before this, like the more people see your brand, the more they gonna be like, oh, I recognize that shirt, or I recognize whatever you selling. So as far as that, I mean, just if I just keep being consistent
for sure.
and keep dropping designs that are actual messages and not just putting stuff out to just make money real quick. And like, then I feel like it can go as far as it can go. Of course, the better brands may have simpler logos, but the message behind it makes people want to buy it more. Yeah. So just keep dropping stuff that's like motivating, or a good message behind it can take you as far as you want to go.
That's a jam. People like to identify with like the brand.
Yeah, if you got a meaning behind your brand, then they gonna want the brand meaning compared to just like, all right, this shirt look fire with no meaning behind it.
Right. So yeah, niggas that just be having money, fast cars on your shit. We talking about y'all. But so, what tips can you give for somebody who's starting out in like the clothing and brand space? One thing I noticed was like you had tags on your clothes. You know what I'm saying, which identify that you are like the manufacturer. You know what I'm saying.
So the first thing is getting your brand out there. So like whatever you drop, something, a photo shoot, or putting reels together to just get it out there on the internet to like let people see what you're doing. Another thing is have a message, like we just discussed. Like if you have something, a meaning that means something behind your brand, a lot of people will ask you, what's your brand stand for? And if you have a good meaning behind it, a lot of people will be like, all right, yeah, I'll support it because it means something. So them two good ones right there. The third thing, as we talked about though, just getting your brand out there. Like, for example, we did the camp pop-up shop. That was in August. And I think I made like $800, $900 in that one day alone. Just off, me promoting what I had out there and just selling it. So the more that you just do like little pop-ups here and there, or just getting your brand out there and just letting people see what you have, the more people will try to support.
I heard that right. Numbers.
Oh, hold on. One last thing though, you gotta wear your own brand.
Ooh, I'm glad you said
look,
it.
like
I'm glad
if you don't wear
said
your own brand, how folks gonna be like, I like it if you don't wear it. So if you don't support yourself, and how somebody else gonna want to support?
You didn't catch us lacking because everybody up here got our own brand.
You feel me? Like if you're not wearing your own stuff whenever you go out or whenever you just walking around somewhere, then nobody gonna support it.
Nah, for real.
Yep. They won't see it.
And you wearing your homies brand too.
Yeah. I always really only rock black brands now though, like Mahorico, Create, mine, and my homeboy Seven Figures. Like if it ain't black brands, like I ain't really.
Shout out my boy Kenzo too.
And I gotta get one of these too.
For sure, we got
of course, we got you, man. So as far as all of this, when it comes to the brand, what's one of them challenges? What's the hardest part about all of this? What's a lot of times it's putting your stuff out there, or like inventory. Who you about to work with, all these different factors that plays into actually having the final product. What is the challenge for you?
So I think first is, like you said, getting it made. Because when you start a brand, for example, on Instagram, you start putting stuff out, it's going to be plenty of manufacturers writing in your Instagram DMs. It's like, I'll work with you, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, all right, you in Pakistan. I don't know if you real or if you just, trying to scam, whatever. So that's one thing, is just seeing who you can work with. And, of course, you can, like, have live calls with them and all that stuff. And it's ways to do that so that you understand, like, okay, they working with this. You can do a payment plan where your product getting made before they ship it out, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. And the second thing, I think my biggest challenge is, like, if I drop some hard shit, and I know it's hard shit, but it's like people support it, but people not buying it. So it's like, and I have learned like, celebrate your small wins. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I drop some hard shit and I have 80 shirts, but only 25 get sold, I'm going to celebrate them 25 because I didn't have to get the 25.
For sure.
So it's like the challenging part is, like, yes, folks are posting my shit regularly. You know what I'm saying? They commenting on it. And I love the support because that's great support. But, like, sometimes it's just not produced in the money side of it. But it's about, all right, this is celebrating my small win. And now when I go somewhere else, people may know, all right, Unorthodox Dream because somebody else posted it. Mm-hmm. So it's just, you got to live with your small wins because you could not have them wins at all. So,
all right, let's stay here for a second because you just said a major key. So we can set some realistic expectations for anybody who's about to start a business. You are not going to get profit out the first couple of years, bro. I don't even care if, like, your business is, like, jumping off rip. Like, for the most part, until you figure out your margins and until you actually get a demand for your stuff, you can actually make some fire stuff. Like, people are still not going to, like, you still got things you got to figure out because, like, you can make something fire, but, like, the way you went about, like, getting the manufacturer, getting the screen printed on this, that, and the other, it could be pricey as hell by the time you actually make it. And you got to figure out a cheaper way to make it to actually turn a profit. You might not even have the demand because you're not good at the marketing side, but you're good at the creative side. It's just so many things to get good at before you actually start winning. You got to celebrate the small wins. So I like that one, bro.
And it's also like, all right, celebrating the small wins, but everything you do get needs to go back into your brand. Like, you can't take the money that you made from your brand and go spend it on yourself. At all. Because if you, like, for example, all right, I'm sure y'all spent y'all own money to get y'all hoodies and stuff. Yeah. So y'all spent y'all own money. Somebody bought it. Now, if you want some new product, you got to wait on your own money again.
Yes, this is called re-up.
But if you take the money you got and you go put it back into the next design, the next product you gonna get, then you're not waiting on your own money to come back. Yeah. Like, you got to learn that if you're going to re-up, your money that you make early got to go back into it.
Yeah, so don't go spend that on shorty. Y'all can go to dinner another time.
Gotta use that pocket money, boy.
Wear them shoes from last fall. It's okay. Niggas is not watching you anyway.
Not yet.
Not yet. Like, what do you want to plug and announce for the future as far as a brand?
So for the rest of this year, I got some crew necks that'll be coming out probably the end of this month. And then December, I got some sweatsuits and some dad caps that'll be coming out.
For sure.
And then for the future of that, I'm working on some varsity jackets.
Ooh. All right.
That'll be probably either first of next year or February, one of the two. But, I am getting getting started on those. So that's the next couple drops here and there, and then we'll see what else comes from the next.
All right, bet.
So as far as, like, you being a one-man show right now, do you see that continuing, as you continue to expand? Are you considering other people bringing on a team? Or?
So I'm a one-man show, but I do have two guys that I like. I'll send a design and be like, hey, bro, like, be real. Do you think this going to sell? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just seeing, like, is it hard? Is it different? Something like that. So, I don't want to be a one-man show because as I grow, I feel like I'm going to need some help.
For sure.
And that's one thing I had to learn is it's okay to ask for help, because I know a lot of times like people feel like, all right, it's my brand, I'm gonna do it my way, and I don't want nobody else to. And it's like you can't do all this by yourself. Like the ship, like packing orders, just printing out shipping labels, taking it to the post office, creating designs, marketing. Like that's a lot of stuff to just keep up with by yourself. And so
For sure.
I feel like once you grow and you get to the point where like, okay, I know this, but like let me bring on some people that can help out with certain stuff. So the plan is to probably get some more folks in, and I know like one of my homeboys stay in Phoenix, maybe split my inventory. Like, all right, you in Phoenix, we work together. You get the product out down there, get my name out over there, and then I do Huntsville. Well, no, it's just stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
we'll see.
Ooh, speaking of, that's crazy. I might